is Friday, which means we're starting another weekend reading vlog a la mid-month book bash, but it's not the middle of the month. It's actually closer to the end of the month, and I still have a lot of reading to do. So I wanted to take you along for my reading journey. But before we talk about reading, let's talk about the weather, because you might notice I'm sitting in my car, but I am all muffled up because it is a balmy 33 degrees in New York City right now, but it still feels really cold because, listen, I guess I haven't quite thawed out. It was really cold this week. So 33 degrees right now feels like still 25 degrees to these older bones. Anyway, it is Friday. I'm on my way to the library. I'm gonna be returning a bag of books. Let me show you what I'm taking back to the library. Some of these I've read and some of them I haven't read because I dismantled the library part of the Tower of Books. No, that was Doris's word. My Vlogmas challenge. Remember that big stack of books that I had? Some of them were from my shelf, some of them were from the library. I had them wrapped, but you know, I've had them for a while now and I'm just not going to be able to get to most of them. So I took off the library books and I kept the ones that I think I'm still going to read. But some of these were kind of time sensitive. Like this is a Christmas kind of story. So I'm returning this one because I'm still wanting to read an Agatha Christie book now. But I'm starting with The Mysterious Affair at Styles because that's her first novel. And we'll get to this later. I read this, and these I had just kind of taken off the library shelves. I wasn't sure that I really wanted to read them right now, so I'm returning these to the library just so I can reduce my number of checkouts and possibly check out some more books. I also have to start thinking about consolidating my reading plans because it's going to be February really soon, and I signed up to judge the BookTube prize, and I'm imagining that because I didn't read a lot of new releases last year, that if I'm assigned books for the BookTube prize, it's going to be 6 new books plus all the other things, all the other reading projects that I have. So I do know that I need to make space on my TBR. So some of these I guess I'll get to at some point. So we're going to take these back to the library. So I dropped off those 2 books at the library and I picked up 2 more, and I'm so excited about these because both of these are books that I was thinking about buying and I may still buy after I've read them. You just never know. This is The Serviceberry, Abundance and Reciprocity in the Natural World by Robin Wall Kimmerer, who's the author of Braiding Sweetgrass. And this is The Backyard, Bird Chronicles, written and illustrated by Amy Tan. Nature writing and birding specifically. And when I went into Barnes & Noble a few days ago, the Barnes & Noble I went to of the weekend, I saw that they have this listed. I saw that they had this as the most gifted book of 2024. I think that was the title that this book has, and I was considering gifting myself a copy, but they didn't have it. They were sold out in that store. So I'd requested it at the library. As you could see, it came in, and I'm so excited because it's illustrated. And I love birds. We do birding in our backyard too. So both of these are nature books, and this is a really small one. This is just a little over 100 pages, and it's also small in size, so it's short. And is it also illustrated? There are some ink drawings inside. But look at this gorgeous naked hardback. I feel like I need a copy of this on my shelf. So we'll be reading these hopefully very soon. Maybe even start on this one this weekend. You know, it's a reading vlog and we haven't started reading yet, but later. Later.
Hey nature, my at me now. Families together, getting dressed. The party, hooray for me. Or make sure you use your friend of God. I am a friend of God. I am a friend of God. He calls me friend.
Someone from our church gifted my daughter this train set, and then today also gifted her some additional tracks. So she is loving this. Okay.
You're gonna give me two thumbs up if you think I can lift up this weight.
Okay.
So, give me a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Thumbs up.
Alright. Let's see if you're right. Oh, you're right. I can.
Good job.
I practiced training.
Yes, I could see
So
that.
now,
Ooh. 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 Ah! Okay, thank you.
now let's do it with the other arm.
Okay.
Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down if you think I cannot or I can lift this one.
You can.
Mommy, don't do thumbs down.
Thumbs down? Okay. I don't think you can.
Okay, I will.
You will? Woohoo! All right, be careful, okay? Wow, she's so strong. Okay. I'm not posting on TikTok these days, but I am posting reels on Instagram. So this is a reel that I did to feature the book that we read for the book club. Hi friends, here with another book and outfit post. This time I'm featuring the Runwright Reads book selection for January, August Town by Kai Miller. 10 out of 10, I recommend this novel. It's set in Jamaica. It fictionalizes some real events in a community named after the August emancipation that should have assured freedom of religious expression, among other things. And yet, as we see here, there's continued oppression from government restrictions. Also, self-hatred being exposed when some people seek to identify with their oppressors to enforce standards that keep themselves and others like them in bondage. So the Runwright Reads book club will be reading Caribbean books all year long. I hope you join in for other selections like this one. Hi friends, it is Monday afternoon. I just wanted to check in. My intention was to have filmed a reading vlog this weekend, but I did a lot of reading. I just didn't do a lot of vlogging. So I'll just tell you what I have been reading. I'll just tell you what I've been reading, what I've finished, and what I'm reading now. So on Friday, I started The Serviceberry by Robin Wall Kimmerer, and I loved reading it, so I finished it on Friday. It was beautiful. It was beautifully written, nature writing. Robin Wall Kimmerer is an indigenous author, and so she writes about her relationship with food, which is not just purchaser, consumer, no longer thinking about it. She talks about how food can be the bridge between lots of different species. So food can be the bridge between the person who grows the food and the person who consumes it. But along the way, you can also think about how the plant harvests the energy from the soil, from the sun, and transforms energy into something that we can use. How indigenous cultures really honored the gift that food is for us, because, you know, as much as we can do as humans, we don't photosynthesize, I think is the verb that she used. We don't photosynthesize. That's a tongue twister. So we rely on plants to do that conversion and provide that energy for us in food. The book came about because neighbors of hers who have a farm where they sell things commercially had a bounty, had a crop that they could have sold, but they decided to invite I guess their physical neighbors to come in and harvest the berries and maybe fall in love with a fruit that you've never had before, or just revel in the experience of picking something from a tree and being able to consume as much of it as you want to. And so she talked about that act of collecting her own berries and just indulging in them, and how, you know, all the thoughts that act brought to her. And so I love the book. I loved it. 5 stars. Short book is just a little over 100 pages, and it is illustrated, and I gobbled it up literally in one sitting. And so that was Friday. And then on Saturday night into Sunday, I had to spend some time looking for August Dawn by Kai Miller, which was the January selection for the Runwright Reads book club. And I know I have a copy. I used to have multiple copies, and I had gifted them away or sent them away in book boxes. If you're not familiar, if you haven't been here for a long time, you might not know that I used to curate book boxes and sell them. I haven't done any of those in a long time, but I would like to restart that because I love making annotations in books and curating gifts that heighten the experience of reading a book. So maybe I'll put a link down here where I advertise those, and if you're interested in checking out one of the boxes, you can check that out. So yeah, August Town was a delightful read. I'm going to do a full review of that. It is set in Jamaica in a fictional community called August Town, which borrows from the fact that August 1st is celebrated in Jamaica as Emancipation Day. It is the day when enslaved people were freed. And yet, almost 200 years later, people are still oppressed by a lot of ideas. Some of it is oppression that is enforced by government restrictions and law enforcement, but a lot of it is also oppression that is self-inflicted by other people who look like the people who are being victimized, except that they want to identify with the oppressors, and so they do everything they can to enforce oppression. And it is a wonderful read about the experience of Blackness in a country like Jamaica, where people of African descent are the demographic majority, but minority in terms of power. And also there's a lot of Eurocentric thinking. So definitely want to recommend that. I will do a full review where I talk more extensively about the book, but for now, just pick it up if you haven't already. And so aside from that, I also picked up The Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek. This one is set in Kentucky in the 1930s. Main character is a woman who's working with the pack horse library system. She rides an animal. In this case, she has a mule that transports her to remote homes and homesteads in the Kentucky mountains to deliver books from the library system. So that's my current read, and I'll give you an update when I'm done, which hopefully will be later today, because I'm a good way in, right? And if I have some time tonight, I'll try to finish it. Just working on my journal, working on this spread for Sunday, which I didn't do. This is Monday. My daughter made this little card for me, but this is the spread that I'm working on for Sunday, trying to get a little bit of a Jamaican theme because we read August Town by Kai Miller for book club, and this of course is a Jamaican author. Would definitely love to highlight a little bit of a Jamaican experience on this page, just because book club discussion was definitely one of the highlights of the day. So I guess I've decided that junk journaling is one of my new hobbies, because while I would love to declutter, sometimes I find things that I just can't get rid of, like this little project that my daughter and I did, about 2 years ago. And I just found it in one of the boxes of just stuff that, you know, we have, but we don't want to get rid of, but we don't really know what to do with it. I'm not going to use it for this layout, but maybe next time I feature a Jamaican book, which we read Caribbean fiction all the time. So another Jamaican book will be coming probably very soon. So I'll use that for the next one. For now, we're just going to save it in... Okay, we're just going to save it in there with other, what do we call this, ephemera? Things that we are saving for our journal projects. Can I ask what you were doing? Huh? Tell me. What were you doing with the glue? What? You just say the word. I want to hear it on the video. What were you doing? The friends would never laugh.
They would laugh.
They smile because they're happy, but they're not laughing.
No, they would laugh because of what I said.
Just for me. I turn off the video, you tell me? Okay, what is Once I stopped recording, she told me what her concern was, and then she said I could record her. Right, so here we go.
I cut one hair, and then I took the glue. Mommy helped me take that, and then I glue it, and then I take this piece of hair and I stick it on for my collection.
for your collection. You put a little bit of Moana's here in the journal for your collection. That's awesome. I love that you're journaling. That's called junk journaling or scrapbooking, where you save little things to remember.
Mommy.
You don't just write about
Mommy.
it. Can I finish explaining?
Mommy.
Yes.
Remember the book with the black pages?
The book with the black pages?
Yeah, with the wooden
Oh, yes.
stick and
Yes.
the card.
Yes.
Can I do some of it?
Okay, I'll have to look for it.
Okay.
Okay. But really nice job with your journal. Can I see the journal?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me just find the page.
One day we're gonna have to do a little journal flip through so you can show us some of the things that you've been putting in your book. What's your Minnie Mouse kitchen?
I wanted that for Christmas. That's the juice box.
Okay. For dinner, I made this chicken stew. I just did my taste test and it is a diva. So I'm here to end the vlog because I finished it. I finished the book Woman of Troublesome Creek by Kim Michelle Richardson and I loved it. For the weekend, I finished 3 books and I'm so excited about that. I read Auguston by Kai Miller. It was Runwright Reads book selection for January. I also finished The Serviceberry, Abundance and Reciprocity in the Natural World by Robin Wall Kimmerer, who's an Indigenous author. And this one was about love and appreciation of plant life. I finished the book Women of Troublesome Creek by Kim Michelle Richardson and I love this. This one is set in Kentucky in the 1930s and we're reading about a young woman who has a job as a pack horse librarian. So in the 1930s, there was a government program called the WPA that employed women to work as librarians. They used their horses or donkeys or mules to go up into these Kentucky mountains and make library deliveries to people's homes. These pack horse librarians were really integral in bringing literacy as well as connection to the outside world to people who were living in these remote Kentucky mountains. What makes this book different is that our main character is a Caucasian woman who looks like she's blue. She has a genetic condition where her skin doesn't receive sufficient oxygenation, so it looks blue under her skin. So she is Caucasian. She, for all intents and purposes, she's white, but she's also colored. And so the author gives us an opportunity to compare and contrast our main character's experience as a colored white woman along with other people who are colored. So African Americans who are living alongside this young woman, how similar as well as how different their life experiences are. I never knew anything about these blue people. This was a real historical story, so this is historical fiction, and I loved it. I love the focus that the author puts on a real issue, real prejudice, unfair treatment that was experienced both by Bluette, who that's the derogatory nickname that was given to her, as well as people of African descent, and also how they use their initiative to create opportunities for themselves when people would have tried to just keep them back, keep them down, keep them away. So I love this book. It gives you an opportunity to compare and contrast people with very similar as well as very different backgrounds and experiences. This book is about friendship and sisterhood and chosen family, and there's even a little romance. There's also a lot of abusive situations that are described here, so trigger warning, not everybody might enjoy this one, but I loved it. So these are the 3 books that we wrapped up this weekend. This one for the book club, this one just because I needed to, and this one. So also did a little journaling this weekend, did a little reading journaling, did a little life scrapbooking journaling, and I loved it. Got 2 countries in the Caribbean and 3 states in the United States of America. Loved every moment that I spent with my family. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you join me for the next one. Let me know in the comments down below what you've been doing, what you've been reading, what you've been loving lately. And until we come back for another video, happy reading. Bye.